Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style, and today we're going to be answering the question, should a man buy a tuxedo? If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You just click on that by clicking on that button right up there above this video. And if you want to learn more about black tie, tuxedos, tuxes, whatever you want to call them, go ahead and click on the link below. And that'll take you to a great article that we've written that goes into excruciating detail about black tie, probably more than you've ever wanted to know. But let's get right to the question. And this came to me, I received an email the other day. A gentleman's asking me, should I buy a tuxedo? He was debating the question, should he rent one for $150 or should he go out and spend close to $1,000 to get a really nice one? It was an off the rack that he found, and to get the shoes and all the other things that you needed to go with a black tie. So my answer to this is it depends. And it really depends on what your lifestyle's like, where you live, how often you're going to utilize this ensemble. Because if you're only going to wear this once in your entire life, then it's not probably a good investment, and you probably don't wear suits or black tie, very often in any case. And so I would say in that case, just go with the rental. It's not at this point, unless you've got money to spend or it is really important to you. Perhaps it's your daughter's wedding and you just want to look, it's worth that kind of money to you, then go ahead. But if this is something that you've just heard, you can skip past this. But for many men, it's actually worth the investments. And black tie can be expensive. It's something it's a bit harder to find off the rack. You're not going to find it in your local mall. So you're going to have to either buy it from a specialty men's store, or you're going to have to go, like Brooks Brothers or someplace, or you're going to have to go to a custom clothier. So you're looking at a cost of anywhere from $1,000 to well beyond $3,000 for something like this, depending on the type of fabric and all the other details that you could go into. But let me go ahead and talk about, why would a man want to invest this kind of money? What's the advantage of buying a tuxedo versus renting one? Okay, when you buy something, and especially if you get it tailored or you get it custom, it's going to fit you a lot better than anything you rent. There's also the style being correct. So a lot of this stuff you rent, well, it's just an abomination when it comes to the certain style features. You'll see notched lapels on tuxedos, which you shouldn't. You'll see 2 to 3 button tuxedos, which you shouldn't. You'll see these bright pink bow ties and bright pink cummerbunds, and you shouldn't. Technically, there are rules with black tie. That's the beautiful thing about it, is that you can look at what the rules are, follow them, and you're going to be correct, whether you're in Germany, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in France, whether you're in the United States or Mexico. You know that if you follow these rules, that they're timeless, they're classic, and they're adhered to across the world. If you go with a rental, well, you're going to, how those pictures pass around the internet of, like the 80s prom dresses and stuff? Well, yeah, you'll probably be in one of those pictures. No, hopefully not, but you were warned. Okay, then there's the actual money you spend. So I alluded to it earlier, but if you're only going to need this one time, it's probably not worth it. But once you start going to a couple of these events, all of a sudden that $150 rental fee, plus if you're late, you get an extra charge, and there are always little things here or there, but that stuff adds up. And all of a sudden, over the period of, let's say, 5 years, you have spent $1,000, and every time you wore that clothing, you looked bad. So why not suck it up at the beginning, invest in a quality set of black tie, black tie jacket, black tie trousers, get the waistcoat, get the shirt, get the bow tie, have the shoes, and all of a sudden, you've got it, and you're going to end up looking sharp. So, the why not reasons, like I mentioned, upfront cost, and also the lack of use. But the positives, I think, outweigh it, again, if you're going to be wearing this more than 2 to 3 times. So who fits the profile of the actual man that would need this? I usually see it, and my clients for black tie usually are up-and-coming professionals. So these are young men that are going into consulting, they're going into lawyers, they're going into banking, they're going into, let's say, government work. A lot of times if you're going to be in the Washington, D.C. area or working for a state government, you're going to be attending a lot of balls, and black tie is often optional. So, that's another hidden thing is if you own a black tie, you're going to find events to wear it at. And when you have that option, you're going to wear it because it makes you look like James Bond. I mean, it makes you look good. Okay, so one of the guys I mentioned, the up-and-coming professional, talked about some of the professions there. There's also, if you live in a large city, you live in Chicago, you live in New York, you live in Los Angeles, you live in, well, probably not Portland. They're pretty laid back there. But even Austin, Texas, state capital. So there are events where you can find and where you can actually wear this. So you end up wearing this 2 to 3 times over the period of 5 years. You're definitely going to get your money's worth out of this, because it really comes down to whenever you dress sharp like this, you want to look good. You don't want to, you want people to compliment you. I mean, that's the whole reason that people get dressed. You help set the right ambience and the right atmosphere at the event you're at. And so really quick, I kind of alluded to it, but make sure to price it out accordingly. There are ways you can keep this really low. I said, you could spend $100, go to thrift stores, and you could piece this together. It's going to take a lot of time. Or you can just walk into a custom clothier or a men's store and buy it all at once, and you may be out a couple $1,000s. In any case, you're going to need the right shoes. You're going to need, like I said, the full suit, which is, make sure, again, the article down below goes into a lot more detail as to exactly what piece and the style you're looking for. But know that it's not just the suit. You're going to need the right shoes. You're going to need the right shirt. You're going to need jewelry as well. Although there are ways to get around that and you don't have to have the jewelry. But in most cases, it's recommended. And you'll need the waistcoat, the tie. I think I covered everything there. So should a man buy a tuxedo? Again, it depends, but I would say 75% of the time, yes, it's worth the investment. All right, so there's your answer. This has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men, Real Style. If you haven't already, visit Real Men, Real Style and join our free email list. This is a great weekly. I send out a lot of great information every single week. We've got a free 47-page ebook that you can download. In addition, it comes with an 80-minute audio. All this is free. Every day I get a thank you. People are like, wow, you can't believe you're giving this away for free. Well, we are. So go over and grab it, because someday we might not be. But hopefully this was useful. And if it was, share it. And I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.